Hi there, I'm Ben, an RV technician here at Lichtsinn RV, and today I'm going to show you how to winterize a Winnebago View. Okay, to start with, a couple things we're going to need. We're going to need RV antifreeze. So 2 to 3 gallons depending on how conservative you are. It depends. You can sometimes get it done in 2, you might need 3. You might need 4, who knows. Here, need some rags to clean up after yourself. Make sure you wipe the sinks down, wipe any fixtures down that get RV antifreeze on them. Alright, other than that, that's the main things we'll need. So our very first thing we'll do, we'll start here in the water compartment on the driver's side. So what we're going to do is we're going to open that fresh water drain way on the left side there. We want to get that whole drain, our whole tank drained out. So we'll let that drain the whole time we're doing this. Other thing I like to do is open the low point drains really quick, here and here. Then it's going to be really hard to see, but way up top there's a winterizing valve right there. So make sure that's in winterize. So just like that, facing down, sideways is normal operation. So once we have that facing down, we have the low points open, tank drain open. We're going to, we'll come back to this to hook up the RV antifreeze, but right now we're gonna go to the other side and we're gonna empty the Truma. Now that we're on the passenger side here, the one thing I like to do before I start winterizing, I like to empty the Truma. So you're going to open that up. We have those low points open on the other side, so we're draining water out. Now I'm going to grab this. I'm going to pull down, and we're going to drain the water out of the Truma. So we can open this to go a little faster. The relief valve. So we'll let that drain all the way out, just like that. That's fine, as long as we have most of it out. Now we're going to put that filter back in. Close that relief valve. So I like to get the water out of the Truma so we don't dilute the RV antifreeze that we're pumping through. Just makes things work a little better. Okay, so now that we emptied the Truma, now we're gonna go inside and work on the drinking water filter. Okay, now that we're inside, we are gonna actually empty the drinking water filter before we start. So there's actually 2 times we're gonna empty this. We're gonna empty it before we start, and we wanna empty it when we're done. Because even though it's gonna be filled with RV antifreeze, it still can expand enough where it can break this filter housing. So we want to go under here, and all we're going to do is unscrew it. Just like that, and we'll take it and we'll dump the water just down the sink. And then if you have the filter in here, just take the filter out. It doesn't need to be in here for winterizing, so take that out. We just want the canister. Then we'll put that back on. Just like that. Okay, so now after we emptied that, we emptied the Truma, now we're gonna go back outside and get the RV antifreeze and everything all hooked up. Okay, now that we're back outside by the water compartment here, we got our RV antifreeze. Let's open that up. We're gonna pop through that top there. Just like that. You will see hose coming straight out is barely long enough to go. One trick I like to do is I like to go through the little pass through here and pull it down. That gives you a little extra length. Makes it easier to get all the way to the bottom of your RV antifreeze. So then we'll just go all the way to the bottom of the RV antifreeze, just like that. We are going to make sure we shut our low point drains out here, here, and here. We can leave that freshwater tank drain open. Again, we want to drain all the water out of our tank, so we're going to leave that open the whole time. All right, so now once we got those closed, we got everything ready to go. We're going to turn the water pump on here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to actually go to hot water faucet right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and run this until I get a nice steady stream of pink coming out from the RV antifreeze. Let that go. It's going to take a little bit because we are pumping it all the way through the Truma and everything. So that does take a little bit in that Truma. It's also filling that canister underneath the sink. So this is where you'll go through the bulk of your RV antifreezes right off the bat, just filling a couple things. There's a nice steady stream of pink. We're gonna shut that off, and now we'll turn the cold on. Just like that, nice steady stream. Okay, so now we're empty on this jug. We're gonna grab another jug, pop that open, just take your hose out, put the hose in the next jug, And then I'm gonna just turn this on just to pressurize this hose here. There we go. Okay. So let's let that drain down there. Now we will go back inside and we'll get the winterizing done inside. Okay, now we came back inside. We're gonna go to each fixture and we're gonna turn on, we're gonna go cold first, cold or hot first, doesn't really matter. Again, we're gonna run that till we get that nice steady stream of pink coming out. Just like that. Nice steady stream of pink. So let's switch over to hot. Nice steady stream of pink. Shut that off. Now we will go back to the bathroom and we'll run those fixtures. Okay, so now we'll start with the bathroom sink. Run the cold till pink coming out. Nice steady stream. Back to hot. Nice steady stream, just like that. Okay, let's go to the toilet. Right here, use the foot pedal. So you see a nice pink in the toilet there. Now we will go to the shower. Turn on the cold first. Nice and pink out of the cold. Go over to hot. Nice and pink coming out of the hot. Let me shut that down. Okay. And now we're actually going to go back outside and do a couple things out there. Okay, now that we come back outside, what we're going to do is just kind of wrap everything up. So we're going to take the hose out of the jug. If you do have antifreeze in here, you can let it drain back into the jug, or you can turn your water pump on quick and suck that back in. Either way, make sure we put that cap back on. We can pull that back up through there, just like that. All right. And what I like to do here is at this point, I like to open these low point drains here and here. Just let those drain out. You can leave those open the whole time that we're actually going to empty the filter and empty the Truma. Just help get antifreeze out of the system. Once we pump the RV antifreeze into the system, it's done its job. So technically we can drain whatever we can out of it. It doesn't matter. The RV antifreeze is pushing the water out. That's our main goal of it. So once we've done that, technically we can get the RV antifreeze out of the system. That's why I'm opening the low points, just to get what we can out. Okay, now that we have those open, we're gonna go back over to the Truma and drain the Truma. Okay, now we're on the passenger side, back of the Truma. So we always wanna make sure we drain this too. Even the RV antifreeze that's in there can swell just enough to break it. So what we want to do is make sure it's drained. I always pull that relief valve first, just to take any pressure off, if there's any pressure on there. And then what we're going to do is flip this open again, go down, and let all the antifreeze drain out of there. So at this point you have two options. Here at the dealership, we take this filter and we put it right here. We like to put it there, not back in the system, just because if any residual water when you're traveling could come down, fill this, potential of breaking. But if I leave that out, it's just gonna drain out. There's no chance of breaking the Truma. Downfall to leave that out is you have to remember to put it back in when you de-winterize the coach. So kind of up to you. It can either be in or out, but up to you on that. All right, so now we let that drain, close the relief valve, close that, and now we'll go back inside and work on the drinking water filter. Okay, now we came back inside after emptying the Truma. Now we want to make sure we dump that drinking water filter. So just like we did before when it was full of water, we're gonna go back down and we're gonna take that and we will dump that down there. And we put that canister back on. Just like that. Okay, and now this is at the point, as you can see, you want rags and everything just to clean up after yourself. Wipe the antifreeze out of the sinks, back out of that sink, off the shower. It's just, it has the ability to stain certain things if it does. It's better just to clean it up, get it off of there. Okay, other than getting that dumped, I mean, cleanup's the main thing after that. Now the other thing is your winterizing valve that's out in your main water compartment. Again, you can leave it in Winterize if you want to, or you can go back to normal operation so you're ready next when you do Winterize. Your low point drains, you can either leave open too or close them. Kind of a preference, whatever you want to do. By leaving them open, any residual water will drain out down there. Closing them, you're just kind of ready for the next de-winterize. Other than that, that's about all there is to winterizing a Winnebago View.